What up, everybody? This your boy Theo Pinson here with another episode of Run Your Race with my boy, AJ Richardson.
Good morning, beautiful people.
It is 6:30 at night. It is not the morning. Y'all know how this shit goes. But people, I told you, we getting bigger and better. We got a special guest here today. Very special guest here today. Our first women's hooper. A dog, a bucket getter. Damn near one of the faces of college basketball. We got Georgia Amoore here today.
Thank you, guys. Too kind. I'm blushing.
No, we can't thank you enough. We have been waiting to get more women hoopers on here, and we are honored to have you with us today because the women's game has taken off. It has reached a new level, and it ain't going nowhere because y'all, I mean, the talent has always been there, but now the world is understanding what y'all can do, and y'all been doing it for a long time. So I'm excited. I got a daughter, so it's thank you because Alana, time to get in the gym.
Project.
Yeah. That's like she's like 2050 or something.
Not facts.
Like,
yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. No, but like what we do here is talk about on Run Your Race, is talk about the journey, talking about getting to where you are today and the ups and downs that you had to get to, because it's not always pretty. It's always highlights and lowlights, as AJ likes to say. So we want to give everybody as much game and much stuff we can give to make sure they know they can get to the next level. So Georgia, go ahead, let us know where you from and how'd you start playing basketball?
Yeah, so I'm originally from a town outside of Melbourne, Australia. It's called Ballarat. It's probably like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And I mean, my journey to college was long. It was not traditional at all. Like in Australia, we just don't have college sports. We don't have scholarships like that. We don't even really have high school basketball that's competitive. From a young age, you're thrown into like more of the club system, European system. You have to try out for everything. And then, I mean, personally, when I got to maybe 14, I was doing like semi-pro stuff. And obviously, like because of eligibility, you couldn't get paid.
Mhm.
But like you were playing with women. I had a couple of like WNBL training spots, which means like we had imports like I had like Sophie Cunningham, Benija Laney, like girls like those came over, played WNBL, and I was training with them. Like they would obviously now have no idea who I was, but it's like you were like 16, 17, 18, like playing against women who that's their job.
Right.
So it's like I wasn't the kids at home, like they're not hyped in high school. It's not like a highlight tape. Like it's you playing with women and they're gonna show you up. And that's the side hustle. Like they got a family at home, like they don't give a shit about you or like
no, not at all.
if you forget to play, like they're gonna let you know. So it was a good upbringing, but so different to what I would have considered like a standard like American high school.
What was something for you that drove, like, did you play any other sport?
Oh my God, I played so many sports. I was like, my second love Australian rules footy, so we call it AFL, like footy, football. It's crazy. I got concussions from it. Like I used to play against the boys. I would be running, they'd grab my ponytail and yank it. But like that was like my first, I loved it. And I still love watching it. But I played that. I mean, played netball growing up, which is another Commonwealth sport. Basketball without the backboard, can't dribble. A lot of footwork.
Basketball without the backboard.
That's different.
It's different. There's positions. Like it's a bit crazy, a bit confusing, and quite frankly, it's quite boring. But yeah, I mean, I played I did taekwondo, swimming, tennis, like every single thing my family kind of threw me into. So it was good.
That's dope.
I'm just wondering, like, what is the process of, like, how did you gain the love for the game of basketball in Australia? Because it's different. Like, I don't know.
I guess it got to the point like when I was like 17, 18, I was like, okay, which sport do I want to choose? Because I love footy. And at that point, there was a women's league, but it wasn't really massive. And you would have had to stick it out and like pay for uni and stuff like that. But I was like, college is going to give me so many more opportunities and experiences. So I knew that was the way to go. So I picked basketball as my primary, whatever. And I started making like Australian teams. So obviously when you make a national team, you're feeling good about yourself. Like, oh yeah, I'm the shit. Like I'm gonna keep doing this. So I did that. And my older cousin actually went to Syracuse for rowing. And she would come back and she would be like, man, me and my team, like we got drunk that night and then we had practice the next morning. And then like my friend was throwing up. It was just like all the stories she was saying, like, which is the crazy ones, but it's just like little snippets of things I was hearing. I was like, okay, I love the idea of college, but like basketball, I just knew it was going to take me places. And it has. I've traveled all over the world.
Right. Playing on a national team that young, like, what is that experience like? I mean, you see, I think Luca did it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca did it too. Like, over there, playing on a national team that young, like, how's that feeling? And does it help you gain confidence? So when you get over here, the shit is easy?
I mean, it definitely does because you're exposed to. I mean, it's not easy when you get over here because
Right,
everyone
right, right.
freshman year goes through some,
Oh.
unless you're freaking Caitlin Clark or whatever.
Right.
Everyone
Yeah.
freshman year goes
Yeah.
through some shit. But yeah, I think the exposure to different playing styles. Like, I was on a U17 team and we played against Team USA in a scratch match, like a scrimmage. And that team was loaded. You know, you talk about Paige, AZ, Zaya Cook, like Haley Jo. Like, it was that team where like every
sheesh.
single
Y'all got
person was on. I
smacked,
can't
huh?
bring.
USA.
That team was loaded.
But
They
like
was
in
nice.
saying that, like we played against teams like France, and those girls are pros at that level
Yeah.
already. Like a couple of them still playing on that women's national team. But it was good because I think Australia's at the core, like our team values and stuff. It's like a sisterhood. It's team level basketball. It's very
Yeah.
high IQ. You're playing FIBA rules. It's hard. It's gritty. 24-second shot clock. A lot more physical. I came to college and you'd think I was playing football because I genuinely fouled out my first 5 games consecutively in
Damn,
my
that's
freshman
crazy.
year. So it was definitely an adjustment, but it was good because, I mean, I think especially when you think about World Cup and Olympics, that's how they play.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The game
No,
is totally
it's
different.
crazy because it all makes sense now. Because didn't you like roll your ankle? You did.
I got. Are you talking about the fight in the Sweet 16 or
Yeah,
something?
you
I
didn't.
set a screen and I just got smothered.
You got
just
depleted.
saw Jesus.
And you like still play through it, and I'm like, this girl's tough as hell.
No, facts. And
And that's what
it makes sense now.
That's what
It makes a lot of
is.
sense. Like we do this a lot where we talk to people and they realize like those games that you played when you were younger, they helped you out more than you think right now.
Yep.
That toughness side of like
Yep.
you're playing with the guys,
Yeah,
and
and we
those little
would-
things make a difference.
Yeah, we would. I remember being a kid and we would have camps. And like I said earlier, I was from a small town out from Melbourne. So we had my juniors, we had country and metro. So the country kids were from everywhere. So you would have to drive 2.5, 3 hours for a camp on the weekends. And these camps would be 2-hour morning blocks, lunch, 2-hour afternoon blocks. You would bring a sleeping bag and you would sleep on the court. And then the next morning, wake up, do it again. So it was
What?
like instantly as a kid, like it was just bred into you. Like we just call it like the country way, you know, the country kids. Like usually they were like mentally stronger, tougher. Like
Yeah.
they just don't get shit given to them. Even like that kind of carried through to my college because my freshman year I came in and they gave me 3 pairs of shoes and I tried them on. I picked the one I like. I gave the other 2 back. And my coach was like,
Oh hell no!
my coach was like,
Oh hell
nah,
no!
like these are all for
yours. There
you.
you go.
Like, I've changed now. Like I keep
Oh,
asking
yeah,
for
yeah.
more and more
Hey,
stuff.
I was about to
but-
say, how you feel coming to the academy?
Hey, let me get your box.
Shit.
But yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah.
That's dope.
No, for sure. I mean, those situations where how are you working on your game? Like, what are those times that you finding that time to work on your basketball game?
Like right now or like
No.
as a junior?
When you were younger?
Yeah. So as I said, I was a part of like the semi-pro teams and like those WNBL teams, and it
You
was a lot of
started that
driving.
at what age?
My first ever game, I was 5 years old because I was watching my cousin play, and I was like in flip flops. And when I tell this story, like in Australia, we call flip flops thongs. So I was in my thongs. I was watching my cousin play.
Oh hell!
She got like a
We're gonna
bunch
put a
of the team.
definition at the bottom.
A
They on
bunch
the
of
Roll Your Race podcast talking about thongs.
Yeah.
a bunch of them got fouled out, and they subbed me in, and I just started playing. And since then, I just never ever stopped. And I was just always just kind of naturally gifted athletically, not height wise, but definitely speed wise.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed that.
Damn, that's dope. Are you the only sibling?
No,
Only
I
child?
have a younger brother and sister.
Oh, dope.
They hoop too?
My sister does. She just is about to come over for college. But my brother's just completely different to her and I, which he should be because you got to find a niche.
Yeah,
Nah,
and
facts.
everybody can't hoop.
Yeah.
How's that transition coming from overseas and then coming here and going to college and learning the U.S. way?
Yeah.
Like,
How does the
all that.
recruiting happen?
Exactly.
Recruiting was, I was lucky because I was not really highly recruited, and I was lucky because I went to all of these like national team tournaments. So
Yep.
when I played we were playing in Belarus next to Russia. Like that was our tournament. I got recruited there, heard some traction, and then I had a NBA Academy Final Four thing, 2019, I want to say. Maybe 18, I can't remember, but there was like an exhibition there and we played. So it was like, but it was like, Nika Mule, like she was there, Leah Edwards was there, me, one of my best friends at Izzy Anstey, she ended up at UCLA, but that little exhibition thing was so good for us because there were so many great coaches there because it was the Final Four.
Yeah.
Like that definitely helped a lot. But VT, Virginia Tech and their staff stuck with me like the whole time. I had maybe like a couple of scholarship offers here and there, but nothing too serious. I ended up picking 2 schools to visit, University of Portland, because my cousin went there and there was maybe 6 other Australians in that team that I knew like well. And then Virginia Tech because just Coach Brooks, and it was like ACC, like a bigger school. So visited both of them. Portland was great. I just knew if I went there, I honestly would have just like fucked around and had fun. Like, I wasn't really going to get much out of it.
Yeah.
And then I visited VT, and like literally the day after I committed. I think in my heart I knew that I was going to pick it. But once I saw it and I met Coach Brooks in person and the staff, it just sold me.
No brainer.
Yeah, but it was definitely unconventional. Like I didn't post my 6 schools. I didn't.
Oh yeah, you know how they
tease
do
him. I didn't have like a highlight video. I was like, hey, so I'm actually moving to Virginia. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is?
And it happened honestly in like a year span.
Really?
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was really, really quick.
Talk about it.
I remember like being in year 12, which is when you're 18, and I was like, because my cousin went to Syracuse, I really wanted to go to Syracuse. So I was like emailing Coach Q and his staff, like heard crickets.
So you're emailing
coaches. And I mean, Virginia Tech was the ones that like reached out to me. They saw me and they texted me here and there, but it's just so hard being international, like time zone. Schools want to get you on a visit. Like I really liked this one particular school. I only liked it because I knew my teammate on the semi-pro team went there and she loved it. So I was like, hey, I'll go there. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. Like, do I have to commit like in person? They're like, yeah, we'd prefer you to come on campus and have a visit before you do it. So if they didn't have that rule, I probably would have gone there.
Really?
Everything happens for a reason. I like purely believe this because it would have been stupid of me. I'm glad I waited. But literally by the time I committed, it was September. By the time I flew over for my first day on campus, it was January 2020.
Sheesh.
COVID hit.
Yeah. And I got stuck there for 2 years. I didn't go home for 2 years.
Damn.
That was a big adjustment.
That probably
for you,
fucked you up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I was cooked. Like, cause you get, cause I gray shirted. So I'm there and I'm practicing. I'm going to classes. I'm traveling with the team, but like I don't play. So like it was good because I was so busy. I didn't have time to feel homesick. I was just like on the go. But then COVID hit. Everything hits. It's like shit. My flight got canceled, or like if you go home. Australia was so strict with the lockdown. Like they weren't letting anyone in and out. Like if I went, God knows if I could have come back.
Right.
So your freshman year was when?
2020.
2020 and COVID hit and you're at Virginia Tech right now.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
you. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I just decided to stay and ended up being fine because we did all that bubble stuff and whatnot. But it was hard because I just couldn't go home for 2 years.
Do you think that helped you like lock in? Because I mean, at that point, it was just only basketball.
Yeah. I mean, the first couple of months was definitely like the hardest like ever. Like it's terrifying. Like I mean, everyone's going through it, but it's like this is not my home. I'm not comfortable. I'm staying with the teammate I just met you 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Like everything ended out so fine because like that family was lovely. But
and Virginia Tech's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like there's not much going on.
Yeah.
And my whole freshman year definitely, maybe up until like the end of it, or like definitely my sophomore year was like the turning corner. But like as soon as I changed my perspective to that, like I'm here, I might as well do it.
Make the
like,
best of it.
Changed everything. As soon as I stopped being miserable and like, oh, I miss this, like I miss home. I was like, nah, like I'm here, I might as well do it. Like I can do nothing about it.
Yeah. What was like? How does did you watch WNBA games
in Australia?
In Australia,
here and there because we had a couple like Aussie girls that played, but like I grew up love Lauren Jackson, which is crazy because this past summer I played with her over in China.
Yeah.
It was like full circle moment. But yeah, I mean I watched it here and there, but our cable sucks, our Wi-Fi sucks. Like it's just not good. Like I watched it more when I came over here for sure. Yeah.
So you make the decision going to Virginia Tech. How did that happen? What was like the deciding factor for you?
Yeah, it was just like the relationships I had. Like Coach Brooks, 110%. Like within the couple of hours that I met him in person, I was like, okay, no, I'm so far away from home, but like I trust this man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a point guard. He's so incredibly intelligent. He was like selling me on the player development stuff, and I was like believing him. I was like, yeah, I'm going to college. Of course, I'm going to develop, but like never knew how far it was going to take me in that moment.
Yeah.
And like it's just insane, like how much I've poured into him and he's poured into me. It's been like I can never repay him for how much he's done for me. But I mean, there was also another coach on that staff, Coach Rad. She's from Lithuania, so I was like, okay, like she's been through it too. Like it was just a good, like I had resources.
Smart. That's a smart decision because at the end of the day, you're playing for the head coach.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, you trust him.
Yeah.
It's the best way to go about it. But you get to Virginia Tech, it gets real. What was your welcome to college? Well, fuck COVID, but
no, there was one.
What was your welcome to college moment?
Dana Evans. We're playing Louisville, and I think we're either up or close. And mind you, like they're maybe top 4 in the nation at this point. They're always bloody top 4. Like, we're up at home, and I have the ball, and the scout was like, she's gonna pick pockets. Like she'll get you when you don't know it. The whole game, she hadn't picked my pocket, and we're running this last play for our best 3-point shooter to get a shot. And I've like dribbled it, and I've gone to pass it to her, and she just picked me. Like the only time in the game she picked me was the last possession of the game. Picked me, layup, game over.
That was the game winner?
Yeah. I mean, like they were up, but like it just like put it away.
Oh, yeah.
Like
sick.
It was sickening. I've never not protected the ball ever again.
Coach cussed you out?
I think I blacked out because I can't remember all of it. I remember her doing it. After that, I don't remember much.
Yeah, hey, I would have been pissed too. I would have tried to black it out too. What was the moment for you that you was like, okay, I can really play over here. I can play and I can dominate.
I mean, I had a good game. I think it was my sophomore year in the ACC tournament against UNC. 2 of our main.
Fuck.
Were you a UNC guy?
Yeah,
that's where he went.
Yeah, fuck me.
Hey, I'm like 5-1 against UNC. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Hey.
Game winners, game-winning free throws.
Play the clip. I'll let you play the clip. The only reason I'm letting you play the shit because you're our first women hooper. Everybody else talk shit about Carolina.
No,
fuck out of here.
It's not even shit. Like we had the best games against them. Like that's like the one thing when in 20 years when I'm like reminiscing, I'm like, UNC was our rival. Like it's supposed to be Virginia, but like every time we played UNC, it was just unreal. It was overtime. It was still the last possession. Like buzzer beaters.
You hit a buzzer beater against us?
My teammate hit a buzzer beater against them. But it's just like that's how close the games would be. Time. Like Deja Kelly would cook us every single time, but it's like it was always great games. But my sophomore year, we played them, and our 2 starters were out, and I ended up playing really good, and we won that in the tournament.
You was lit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Didn't you have a triple-double? Like you was the first one to have a triple-double in Virginia Tech women's history or something like that?
Yeah, that was my junior year. I think junior year was definitely the year that defined me, like, and what I like my confidence now, because started out non-conference, I had the triple-double, and then we went on.
What was the stat line? You know it. Don't do that shit.
I actually don't. I think it was definitely 10 rebounds on the dot, because it was like the clock was running down and they were like, you need 1 more rebound. I was like, I don't rebound. There's a picture of my teammate. She boxed a girl out. She falls over. She's on the ground, like coffin style, and I'm jumping over her to get the rebound. It's on my phone. I have to show you. It's insane. It was like 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and I can't remember the points, but.
That's elite.
Yeah, that is elite.
You in the history books.
Yeah. Well, that year as well, like we went to the Final Four and ACC champion tournament. So that year was insane. Like it was like the most like memorable year of my college career.
How was your first 2 years? How were y'all your first 2 years? Okay.
I mean, we just like were just there. Like freshman year, it was like marginal. Like it was.
Did you play a lot your freshman year?
Yeah, I started.
We didn't fuck.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Like we just.
Whoa! Let me pump the fucking.
Do you not know who this is?
No, we didn't have. I came in and it was a good position because we didn't have a point guard. Like I had to play, but like coach was on my ass, like ripping me every practice. Like he said more mean things than he did nice. But it comes back to that because I have such a great relationship with him that like he would rip me in practice and I'd go back upstairs and it'd be like normal. Like we'd just be chit chatting. So it was like, and I honestly as well probably credit that to the growing up in Australia. Like I had 30-year-olds like screaming at me. I had one of my coaches was in like the army and his voice was just insane. Like our practices were just not fun. But in saying that, it definitely made me able to cop stuff on the chin and just move on with it.
I feel like a lot of athletes not like that though.
Hey, listen,
kind of crazy.
I've had coaches that rip you a new one
Yeah.
Nah, facts.
for the smallest things. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that just prepare you for later because they don't give a fuck later.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It definitely also gets to the, not like selfishly, but to the point where it's like they can rip you or like they can just give you a look and it's like, yeah, I know I messed up. Like, just like,
They want the best for you.
yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, for you and this is kind of different from what we usually do, but like there's a lot of people close to where you are. So what is something that you tried to look at going from freshman year to sophomore year? Like each year, what did you try to get better at to make yourself better for you
Yeah.
and your team?
I mean, at the core, it's definitely my skill development and what Coach Brooks has like put into my bag. Obviously, my height isn't on the favorable side, so I've definitely had to learn different moves, different change of paces, my shot off quick. So it was just like personal development up until junior year, and Coach Brooks always definitely pushed me to be a better point guard, more vocal, more of like I'm that girl, but I just never was that.
Yeah.
Until my like junior senior year, it's like that definitely. It's definitely more like off the skill stuff that you need to develop before, like, I don't know, it's just the confidence and like the ability to know your teammates, know your coaches, know where to get them the ball, know where they like it, know every play from two positions just in case. Like,
you're the point
it's
guard.
the mental
You
side.
drive the car. And
Yeah.
you like you control literally the whole shit.
Everything. Yeah.
So it's tough because I know, like, I can't imagine coming from another country, brand new, freshman, starting, and you control everything.
Yeah.
Like just
In the game,
and
is
you're
different.
quiet.
That's
You're a
what
quiet person. So
That's
like,
what I struggled with. Well, yeah, I was quiet. I'm not anymore, and that's
oh
why I'm
no,
more comfortable.
listen, we know.
But yeah, like my freshman, sophomore year, I was quiet, I was reserved, but it was like, I just didn't know what I was doing. Like I'm 18, I'm trying to tell this 21-year-old from Florida what to do. Like, no, she already got an attitude because she's from where she's from. And she
Exactly.
acts like
Yeah,
it. She
for
don't give a
sure.
shit what I say. Like I'm 18, I'm from Australia and I'm a baby. Like,
What is something that, like, how did you get over that? Because there's a lot of people, especially for a point guard, like you got to get over that hump.
Yeah.
So what was something for you that helps you get over the hump of being more vocal as a point guard?
Yeah, I think definitely confidence and just knowing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your teammate. Like, you have to put them in good positions. But it's like, I'm a fuck with you too, because like, if you treat me like that, like, I'm gonna throw you a shit pass. Or like, you treat me like that, I'm gonna look at you and pass it to another person. Like, they'll pick on it pretty quick.
Yeah.
And Coach Brooks would tell me stories about him in college, and you know, like he would dibs the front seat in the car, and if anyone like argued, he'd be like, "No, I'm like the point guard. Like, I make the plays, I make the calls. Remember that?
Yeah,
like, it's
for sure.
little things. Just knowing that, like, at the end of the day, like, you really do make the calls, and like. Sucks to be an asshole, but sometimes it's like I know what he wants, so it's like I'm not gonna let you be a fool.
And you're doing it for the team.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it ain't like out of spite or anything.
It's got to come from an unselfish place.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
What's the team like? What's your career high?
My career high is 39 or 38
Sheesh.
at Virginia.
At Virginia, God.
Smoke. You don't like Virginia, do you?
I mean, I'm supposed to not like Virginia, but it was the last game of. I mean, as you said, like our main starter got injured there. It was just a terrible game all around. Like we lost there last. It was just terrible. But
God.
unfortunately,
Virginia's really
that
not
was
that good in.
my game high.
They're not that good in women's basketball, huh?
They got a new coach. She's definitely turning it around.
Really?
Yeah, but they weren't. Well, they didn't even play like my freshman year because like them and Duke pulled out.
Oh yeah, they did.
They
did because of COVID. Well, we'll leave that for another time. We'll talk about that another time. But damn, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, we'll leave that out.
Let's go ahead and talk about your junior year. Junior year is Virginia Tech's on the map. Everything changes for you, your coach, your program, your teammates. Talk about that whole journey for you and your squad.
Yeah, I mean, we had two, like, I wouldn't call them terrible, but two losses that really kicked us forward. Like, we lost at Miami, and Miami's a good team, mind you. Like, they play a very hard way. This was when like the Cavender twins and stuff were there. We shouldn't have lost that game, but I'm glad we did because it was like our chemistry was not right.
Wake up call.
It was. And then we played Clemson and we lost to them and they zoned us the whole time. We'd never played against zone. So it's like, I'm glad we did that because teams later down the road, it's like, we knew it was coming. Like, yeah. But aside from that, like we had really good games. We were just playing like just out of this world. Like Coach Brooks was drawing up stuff on the sideline. Like we were smart, we were mature. We would like have practices that were so quick because we could just get in and out and just like get what we need
You
to
had a
get
more
done
veteran
efficient.
team that year?
Yes, 100%. But I mean, it just got to the point where every game we went into, it was just utmost confidence. It was like, we were them bitches. Like, no one was going to mess with us. And that was like the best feeling ever. Because it was like, we got to we were the number 1 seed. People didn't like that.
Right.
Because I think it might have been Stanford should have been
Yeah.
our record or something like that. Like the stats showed that we were definitely the better team, but we felt like we were the better team as well.
Right.
But we played those games and people were saying, you know, Tech's going to be the first 1 seed to bounce. Like we weren't.
Y'all
like
reading all that.
and then we go in and play Tennessee and people were like, nah, like Tennessee's going to run an SEC team. And then it's like we got UConn or Ohio State and Ohio State presses. They love it press. There's no way we can beat that press.
Yeah.
Within like the first 4 minutes, they dropped out of it. And I mean, we ended up playing LSU, and that's when they were on that tear, and they ended up winning it. But like,
y'all pay attention. You pay attention to a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean,
the hate shit. Huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, not attention, but I think that team especially, it was just like everyone was so vocal about it. It kind of we were proving us right. Like it kicked us forward. Like it wasn't like, oh, like they're saying that about
trying to just
us.
show
like,
it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, you want to say that, like, okay, like stand on it, like be on
Yeah.
your business about it because it's not true. Like
For sure.
you coming in from a place because I think at that time too, it was definitely a lot of politics around our team, and some like unfortunate things happened around that. But it was like, no, like we know what we're doing, we're playing well, like it's working for us.
Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna go out and play.
I've been blessed to win a national championship. Thank you. Yeah. Natty, 2017, North Carolina. The road to the Final Four is one of the best times I've
and
had
most
in my life.
tiring.
Talk about that just journey getting to Dallas, playing against LSU, one of the hottest teams in the country. Like, and first of all, it was jumping in
It was
Dallas.
jumping in there.
It was
Yeah.
jumping. Talk about that whole, I mean, y'all literally put Virginia Tech on the map.
Yeah.
And that whole, so you play 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That 3 weeks is probably
Changed everything.
you'll never forget it.
No. It was insane because it's like you're there for the games and you don't know it's a tournament, anything can happen. So it's like well, we could play UConn or we could play Ohio State. Like you're looking forward to every game or like how things can play out, but you have to be so present because it's like it's do or die. There's such high stakes. And it's March. Everyone's playing out of their asses. Everyone's shooting 50% from the 3-point line. Like everyone knows they're on TV. It's the NIL culture, so everyone's showing off and all of this. So it's just it's different. And like I think we definitely took care of business like on the court, but it's like you forget about the media, the traveling. Like we played 2 games in Virginia, 2 games in Seattle, flew to Dallas and played 1 game, but it was 2 different time zone changes or something like that. Like it's exhausting.
No, and it was very different for y'all because usually you get to go home. They had to go straight to Dallas.
Yeah.
Because were y'all the last game?
And so we were the last game and then we were the first game as well.
Damn.
So it's like,
damn.
I mean, like when it comes to like intricacies and like, I mean, obviously we lost, so like this kind of sounds soft to me saying, but if you're talking about like scouting and stuff like that, like everything matters. And any other team would say that, like it's not just like making excuses. LSU was good; they deserve to win the Natty.
Yeah.
But it's like it comes down to the hours, the recovery, like the scouting, the going through plays.
Did y'all play who in the
adjustments.
Elite Eight?
We played.
What was the road?
South Dakota State, Chattanooga, South Dakota State, Tennessee, Ohio State, LSU.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all had how many days until the LSU game?
I can't even remember. I seriously can't remember.
That's tough.
I think we played that night in Seattle. The next morning we flew out. I mean, maybe had it 2 or 3 days. And then they give you gift suites. So like you land in Dallas as a DJ on the tarmac. It's just loud and bumping and there's cameras everywhere. And then you go to a gift suite and you pick out your gifts and you go to the Nike van and like you get in all this gear and it's just like it's nonstop.
Yeah.
And then the next day you got
Open practice.
and then you got media and then you got like it's literally a fucking media frenzy.
Yeah.
And you don't get no time to just focus. Like you get probably 1 practice
To
really lock in before you have to go play damn near the most important game of your life at the time.
And it's like it's 1 practice and you have the most hot team coming in. You got how are we supposed to guard Andrew Reese? Like how are we supposed to guard Alexis Morris? Like that team was just insane. So it's like you have 1 practice and like I felt bad for the coaches because they probably had no sleep, but it's like like they can do all that work, but if the athletes aren't locked in, if we're not like fresh and like retaining all the information, like it's a waste of time.
You was nervous?
Um, I don't know if nervous was the right word. It's definitely
Anxious.
like the adrenaline just gets.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like you're really in an NBA arena, like it's sold out. Like this, like Kaylani was there, like it's just like big time. Like it was just a lot going on, and I think the really good ones are able to lock in on that moment and
embrace
whatnot.
it.
And yeah.
How did you like mentally deal with all that and not like get the big head or like get distracted and stuff like that?
Because your life changed after that.
It changed
dramatically.
Wholeheartedly, just staying off my phone. And I think I realized that after the Tennessee game, I think I played pretty good, and the following just went up, and then Ohio State, the following went up. And I think as soon as I saw, you open up Instagram and it has like 100, and I saw that and my phone was buzzing, I was like, oh, nah. I can't see that. And like I said before, like people were like tweeting stuff, and like I was trying to stay off it, but obviously you still have other teammates who see stuff and send it in the group chat. But yeah, once I got off my phone, it was just like, oh, I got so much time in the off season to deal with it.
What was everything that changed after your Final Four run? Because at that point, oh God, when basketball take off, you take off. Virginia Tech is not a secret anymore. So what was the biggest difference coming into the next year, and just talk about that next summer for you?
Yeah. We lose. Obviously, it sucks, and we go home, and it's like you're just itching to get back there, and it's like you forget the slow steps it takes to get to March. Just in general, not even playing in a Final Four, but like who you are in July is not who you are going to be in February, March.
Yeah, for sure.
That summer was like the hardest one of my life, not because like it was physically taxing, but mentally I was just not in a good place, in the sense that I had such high expectations of myself, and I wasn't meeting them in July. I wasn't doing this. I was like, okay, eyes are on me now. Like I'm not freaking out, but I was like, damn, I got so much pressure. Like people are expecting stuff. Like that year, I had good games because I was kind of like, Georgia Amoore, like she could do this, like she could go off, like, and mind you, we also had a great team. We had Taylor Soul, Kayana Traylor, Deja Gregg, like Liz Kitley, like you could focus on different people, but coming into this year, it was different. Like eyes are definitely on you, and this, like that summer, I was just like not enjoying basketball. I was putting way too much pressure on myself, and like I was like crying at individuals and stuff like that. And Coach Brooks was like, "You just have like a look, like your heart isn't pure right now, like whatever it is, like." So it was definitely like a long process of like, okay, it's July, it's August, it's September, like, and we started playing, and the games you play non-conference, and it's just like, just let's get to conference play. But it's like every single thing is so important in the journey.
Process.
Yeah,
you can't. If I can give you anybody, don't ever rush that, because everything, it's a different team, different unit, different year, and you're playing different teams. You know what I'm saying? And they have different identities. But that just hit home, because at the end of the day, like at first you're playing basketball, you're having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just fun for you.
Yeah.
And then just like that, it's a business.
Yeah.
Like for me, I was playing basketball in high school, had a great time. I was just playing, I loved it. Became #1 in the nation. Everybody on my, fuck him, I'm better than him. And I'm like, damn, I thought you was my homeboy. Like what happened? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like that's big time for people to hear, and for you to say, to acknowledge that, because it's gonna happen to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that's gonna come on the scene out of nowhere, and eyes are on you. They're looking for you to produce now. You're not a secret no more. They're expecting you to be great every night. Yeah. But at the same time, you gotta take the same approach. It's like, okay, I deserve this.
Yeah,
I put the work in.
That was like another big thing, is I had to not convince myself, but tell myself like what I did wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
Like every game that I played towards the end, it was like, no, I was consistently doing that. And I was playing against these types of defenses. Like I can do that. Just because I'm not doing it in July doesn't mean I can get back to it. I got to get back in shape. Like I got to do this. But it's like, I've been there. I've been on the highest stage. I've performed at the highest stage. So why can't I get back to that?
Right.
But like as you said, it's the process. Like it wasn't until, I mean, I definitely was playing decent during conference, but like the end definitely hit my stride again. But
do you feel like the pressure of getting back there hindered y'all a little bit?
We had a completely new team. I think Liz, Kayla, and I were really the only ones that played. But I think this past season, like Liz and I were actually like phenomenal, like 2-game. Like I will go ahead and say that because our 2-game was great, like very recognizable, hard to stop. Had a lot of fun playing with her, but it definitely
Did the injury
sucked.
take a big toll on y'all?
Yeah, because we run ACC regular season champions. Notre Dame was incredibly hard to play against, but I would have no doubt that if we played better, we could have won the tournament. And then we would have had a good run in the final four, in the March Madness. But as unforeseeable things happen, and it's just adversity, and it's horrible. It was sickening. But yeah, the pressure earlier in the season. I don't know. Speaking for myself, I was determined to give back, and we had games against like Iowa and Charlotte. Like that was a great game.
That was
we
crazy.
were almost there.
That was crazy.
Stuff like that. It's like you get tastes of it. Like that's a high level end of year game.
This is a Final Four type of game right here.
And it's like, okay, we're playing this early, and we're playing that good, and then it's like and then in 2 weeks you play against like a lower level school, and you play like disgusting because it's just like you played respectfully played to the level.
You played to level competition. Yeah.
It's really hard non-conference. Yeah.
For sure. So, last game, you end up losing at Virginia Tech. That's tough. Not gonna lie. Didn't y'all lose at Virginia Tech? At home?
I remember our last game.
Yeah. You don't remember the losses?
I definitely remember losing at Virginia. I don't know if that was our last game or not of the season. I think we lost.
So
at
the
Virginia.
first 2 games are at home sites, though, right?
Oh, you're talking about
in the tournament?
Yeah, we lost. Sorry, I'm with you. We lost against Baylor the second game.
Yes.
So
they were shooting the shit out the ball.
Yeah, Jada Walker put on a shirt.
She put on
a shirt.
Didn't she have
She had probably 30 something.
I think she had about 40, bro.
Probably.
She was going crazy.
That whole team.
I think she had 40, bro.
Yeah. And it wasn't even any threes. It was layup. Like,
it's like, damn.
She got the ball like this baseline, do her thing, and like she just go by you. And it's like, can't do anything about it.
Tough.
Yeah.
Talk about the transition now. You are now a Kentucky Wildcat. Blue blood.
Blue blood.
It's a different caliber right there.
It's different.
You playing for a historic
that fan
school
base
right there. That fan base, they travel. And they love their basketball.
Yeah.
Talk about pressure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You thought you had pressure, Virginia Tech? Hey, listen, you better come with it.
Yeah.
You will though. What was that process like for you? And of course your coach.
Yeah.
Also, did you know you were going with them or what?
At that point it was like, I don't know, I was very undecided. Like the draft stuff was very much looking good, and it's like, I don't know, just the whole thing. I took my sweet time thinking about it. I knew like he got the job. It was announced, and I was like, pros and cons. He's developed me so much beyond on court stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I know I'm gonna develop. That's the root of it. I know I'm gonna get time with him. I'm in a comfortable position where it's like it's gonna be change. It's gonna be new conference, new facilities, new strength coach, everything. But it's like me and him. It's the constant.
Yeah.
Like it's the comfort part of it.
You're playing for him.
Yeah, I am. So like, why wouldn't I do that? You know, he's given me so much, I can give it back. But it's like, I was definitely thinking bigger picture in that moment, and I'm glad I did, and I'm there, and I can't wait for the games to start. And as you said, the fan base is crazy, and it's a rebuild. It's hard because the men and women, new coaches.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like anticipation, and it's just
there's a lot of anticipation in Big Blue Nation right now.
It's always gonna be rebuild like processes. Like there's pressure because you've had, obviously Coach Cal did so great with the men's team and whatnot, but it's like, I don't know, like as you said, pressure, like people are excited for change, and it's like when you don't maybe blow a team out by 40 every game, it's like, how are they going to react? Like panic or like so much uncertainty, but it's like, it's going to be a good year to test everything. Mental, physical.
For sure. How are you taking your experiences that you've had before, coming from Australia, playing against pros when you were young, coming over here, learning everything that's brand new to Kentucky? You're damn near you're mature and you know the game a lot more.
Yeah.
But to some sort, you're a freshman guard again.
Yeah.
You're new teammates.
Yeah.
New environment, new arena. Like everything's new. So how are you approaching the game this year?
Yeah. I can think of it like that, but at the same time, like I know him and I know the staff and I know
Yeah.
the style of play. So it's like I think the big thing for me is going to be my leadership and I mean I had one girl that transferred with me that I played with. Like we had 2 girls transfer, but one of them I really played with.
Gotcha.
We have a bunch of transfers coming in and they've played 4 years at their other institutions. Like they're already like that's going to be a different change for them. You have freshmen coming in, you have international people coming in, and it's just like it's going to be a whole mix of new shit. So it's like I have confidence that I know it and that I can help. And I think the big thing for me this year is going to be like leadership or like guidance or like being in a position where I can still perform elite and do what I got to do, but help everybody. Like it's not like I'm helping the freshmen.
Yeah.
It's not like there's
facts.
2 or 3 freshmen where it's like, okay, like come on, like I'll take you along. It's like the whole team like gotta get used to it. Because in saying that too, like I am the oldest. I've been with him for borderline 5.5 years because I gray shirted. I think how I help influence the culture is going to stay like that when I leave.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like it's a
'Cause you're
clean
setting
slate.
the tone.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like I got to be so intentional with how I have relationships with people, or how like I can say like on a particular day like he's like this, so like you got to act like this, or like people learn him as well. So it's like I can do so much with that when I leave like the locker room. People have a foundation and a basis.
That's huge.
That is
That's
dope.
huge.
That is super dope.
Because I'm thinking like for a new group, as many players that y'all have coming in, the off the court is probably more important than damn near on the court.
Yeah, you got to
because
build
when
that
y'all
team
have-
chemistry.
You got to build that team chemistry.
And I think like we have so many girls that, as I said, like they're older, so they have motivation. Like they're in the SEC now. Like all eyes on them. Like it's probably like it's the most premier like conference, or like the most notable. Like you have like the big names. So it's like they're motivated by that. So it's like all the off court stuff definitely has to be like
For sure.
to an extent micromanaged in a way.
Talk about NIL. Oh God, it has changed the landscape of this shit.
Yeah.
How crazy is it?
It's good. People deserve their money. People deserve it. But it's like, y'all are GMs now. Y'all are buying rosters and having to like manage all of this type of stuff. It's a completely new world. And it's like, it's in the past like 3 years, it's just taken off. Even like from last year to this year. Like there's recruits who come in on campus and they're like, what's your number? And it's like, what do you mean, what's my number? Like, or they'll be like, this school offered me like 300. Like, I think I might be able to push this. Or it's like, you're a freshman. Like, when I was a freshman, I was still wearing hand-me-downs from my cousin. Like,
shit crazy.
It's insane. And it's like, but I think when it comes with that, like, NIL is so good and I'm so glad people are getting paid. But it's like, I think that colleges probably need to be more smarter with like, you know, taxes and investing and stuff like that. Like you have to teach them so many more things. Like with all that money comes great responsibility. You can set yourself up for life, or you can come up to practice wearing Gucci sunglasses and product. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just,
education.
It's a blessing and a curse.
No,
Education.
it definitely is. I mean, it kind of, you can look at it different ways. You can look at it as a situation like, okay, we're preparing our young people for the future and approaching it like, okay, this is how this shit go. We giving you this, but Uncle Sam, he better come knocking on that door.
And it's like at the basis of college sports, it's a scholarship. Like people used to be like, okay, I got a full scholarship. Like I get these shoes.
It used to be the world. That's
the
all
best
I
thing
fucking
ever.
needed.
Now it's like, okay, the scholarship's like non-negotiable. Like, give me my bread. Give me my bread and give me a Mercedes Benz to drive 10 minutes from my apartment to practice, please, and thank you.
And this is, to me, is it the same way in women's basketball too? Like the demands of like cars and shit.
I definitely
like
know that people ask for them. I haven't really been in a situation respectfully whether we've had like a big time recruit come in and demand all this stuff. I know like on the men's side, I see a bunch of the guys drive like Benzes and BMWs and like Cybertrucks and stuff like that. But
wait.
Yeah, there's a Cybertruck.
I mean, it's
on
the
campus.
SEC though.
Sure.
They that alumni.
Cybertruck. A Cybertruck
SEC
is
got
crazy.
But
if a college kid drives on the campus in a Cybertruck, that's calling rob me.
Now that I agree with.
Rob me.
I agree with.
Yeah, I don't really think I've known anyone that's really come through on the female side that has been like as outward about like all the extra stuff. I've definitely heard like people say their numbers, or people be like, this school, or like we had girls commit and they were like, yeah, like this school offered me 50K, and I was just like I'm like 50K is 50K.
Yeah.
Like
They that's some
I
small
think
shit
girls
right there.
definitely probably say it more subtly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the craziest number you've heard?
Like 500K.
Sheesh.
That I personally have heard, but I know that there's definitely girls that would be edging on $1 million. Like especially like now, like
Oh,
with like
yeah,
the
yeah.
girls coming through, like girls at this camp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they're not on.
Yeah, close to
Because you're not only investing in the athlete and like whatnot, but like it's the brand. Like
brand.
now
Yep.
schools that might not have
Mhm.
been as successful, like that you can get money, you can get the best athletes. Like that it's free advertisement. It's not even free, but it's just like you're buying a whole lot more than just the girl.
Isn't it like you're probably still marketable? Like you're probably more marketable in Australia right now, huh?
I'm nobody. I go home and
Really?
it's like no one really knows college like that for real.
It's not really shown like that.
No.
Damn.
It's like opposite. Like I come over here and
Because I heard Josh Giddey's like fucking LeBron James in Australia. Hey, listen, I might be wrong, but am I wrong? They sell a lot of Josh Giddey jerseys there.
They sell things, and he's at the end of the day, he's still a young man who
Yes.
made some decisions. So you definitely hear all of that.
Yeah.
And Australians too, like the culture, like your head's never gonna get too big because they'll knock that shit right down.
Really?
They'll keep you humble as
I
hell.
heard
Okay,
about
I like
that.
that.
Yeah, I heard about
I
that.
like
It's
that.
tall puppy syndrome. It's very, very prominent over there.
Like, y'all don't really care about like how here in the States they go like crazy for these celebrities.
Yeah.
Out there,
Like
it's
we don't we don't like
y'all don't glorify like celebrities.
Oh, really?
Like that.
Or like I go home and no one wears matching sweatsuits, like the shoes and stuff like that. Like you might have 3 or 4 pairs. Like no one really cares for that. Obviously, there's still people that probably do have money that would,
Yeah.
but the general population is just like Americans are very much, like about their money, like how they look, like. It's like weird because even now, like I'll pick up on it. Like I'll see people in my apartment complex that drive the nicest cars. I'm like, if you drive that, wouldn't you want to put a down payment somewhere or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the value of
So you don't got no Gucci slides, nothing.
Kentucky slides.
Respect.
You did come in Kentucky down.
Yeah.
I
She
did.
She got a Kentucky
Hat,
hat, the
sweatpants.
sweatpants.
Not the whole,
bro.
The whole
Oh
fit,
my
I'm telling
God,
you.
looking
But
like a
even because
blueberry.
we get like Drake stuff, like Nocta and stuff
The
like
Nocta,
that,
yeah.
like I get away with
It was
something
a
like
it was a crazy. It was a cause like I'm a very cozy guy, so like all I wear is sweatpants and stuff like that. I don't wear jeans. Your fit was very impressive.
you.
It was very impressive.
Thank you.
He gassing it. I'm just like,
I was like,
It was just like a really good shade of blue.
no.
Like the better shade
It's
of
not
blue.
the best.
No, I think
shade
it
of-
is.
First of all, I'll tell you one thing. If Carolina offered you, you would have went. I'll tell you that right now. Everybody love that Carolina blue. That thing is beautiful. Is it not?
Honestly, if I'm home and I'm asking about the schools that people know of, it probably is the UNCs, the Dukes, the
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
Mic drop. No, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the transition of women's basketball, how special it is, and how it has just taken off, and what it means to you and the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely in it at a good time because I've seen everything.
Mhm.
I've seen it when it wasn't nothing, and I'm going to leave, and it's going to be turning into something that's just
Great point.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it couldn't. I mean, obviously, it probably was well overdue, but it's like there's no going back now. Like
right.
we're so far in it, and it's so great for the girls, and I'm so excited for everyone to come through and experience. Getting the media attention, the money. It just makes it more exciting. It's like the best 4 years of your life, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy how quick it's happened. But I mean, you can't deny that it's going to slow down anytime soon. It's an investment. It's not even just like hype. It's a true investment now.
Not at all. I mean, everybody's just getting better and better, and the product is just getting better and better
Yeah.
also.
That's the thing. It's the matching. Like the game is matching the like what people are saying. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's only going to create a ripple effect. Like you see kids now dunking and shit, like
Yo.
or like putting in these crazy combo moves, like
Like, what the
and
fuck?
respectfully, it's like maybe 2 years ago I would describe someone who was really good. I'd be like, yeah, man, like they're playing like a guy,
Yeah.
like they're playing like a dude. But now it's like no, like
Yeah, no,
They're
it's a
her.
lot of
Mhm.
like
yeah.
now it's like
Yeah.
it's stock standard.
Because Juju Watkins is a Lord
Ooh-wee.
have mercy.
Ooh,
She's an issue.
he's a
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a problem.
Georgia, I'm gonna get that switch on you. What you gonna do? I just
You know my conference. I'm a cramp.
Yeah, weak as hell. No, man, listen, we appreciate you getting on the show. I mean, damn, not show. We appreciate you getting on the pod. It's been an unbelievable pod. Is there anything else you think we should ask?
I did know you could have entered and went to the,
That's
to
what
the
I-
draft.
yes,
so
that's what I
talk
was about to
about
ask.
that because
Yeah.
I think that might be one of the hardest decisions for
Yeah.
an athlete. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you decided, you know,
Yeah, we'll win into that. We'll win into that.
we'll win into that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I've talked about, like my relationship and developing, and I definitely have a way to go with my vocality and the intellectual side of it. But you know, like new team expansions, new movements, like player, all of that. Like it just, yes, there was a lot to consider, and I think you know I could stay one more year and I can just work my ass off.
Yeah.
And make it like solidify. Like I got one last chance to really be like, okay, like no, like.
Yeah.
What I need to work on and what not. Like I'm not just gonna throw myself out there
You
when
just
I
want
know
to be
I
ready
had. Yeah.
as much as you can.
100%.
And I don't think there was anything necessarily bad by staying.
No, not at all.
No, for sure.
Not at all.
And I'm excited to see you play this year. We definitely gonna be tuned in.
Facts.
We gonna get you a Run Your Race hoodie. We gonna get those out soon. But no, we appreciate you coming on, and we wish you the best, and truly wish the game is just taking off to a new level, and you're just as important as anyone else, and can't thank you enough. But people, I told y'all, we getting bigger and better. We got Georgia Amoore on Run Your Race podcast. We big time now. We big time now. That's another episode of Run Your Race with your boy Theo Pinson and AJ Richardson. Peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
That was
much.
amazing.
That was good. Damn. Right quick.